Hi, it's Claire, your intuitive reader. Am I reading your story? Let's find out. Well, let's get right into it. So, what I've been getting for this story is that a lot of people are seeing you as kind of naive in the way that you are, the way you think. Maybe you're a little like me. You're kind of a mystery, a dichotomy. They can't figure you out. Like one moment they're like, "Oh wow, you're very innocent," and you know they can't place you. But the next minute you seem very sophisticated. So they're like, who are you?" And that can make people feel like you're deceiving them, like you're lying, like you're bluffing. And so they're thinking you're they're like causing conflict in your life. They're coming in and they're causing battles because they see the way you are kind of as something to take advantage of it. And this has caused you to go into this hermit way of being, because every time you ventured out, every time you tried to do things, every time you tried to show your excitement and bring your ideas into the world and be who you are, you're like, "Oh, I have this great idea. I have this new way of doing things. I want to create into the world." You brought stuff in there. You brought innovation. You actually like invented things. And I bet you were one of those people that when you were in school, you were part of groups and you bring a lot to your projects, and even in work and stuff like that, family dynamics, but you were never getting credit for it. And you were made to feel bad about that because it was like, oh, you were shining all this light and stuff. But what they did is they put you in a box. And they didn't want you to see that actually you doubting yourself was all part of the plan. Because every time you doubted yourself, every time you counted yourself out, their job got a little easier, because then you would give them ideas, then you would give of yourself, then you would doubt yourself, you would put yourself in that box. Like, here, look, see, like the hermit, you would put your light in that box. You would make it easier for them, because then they could make this house. Look at how small this house is. It looks amazing. It looks like a mansion. It looks like this huge thing that somebody would want, but underneath it is so much more. It's like teeny in comparison to actually what you created. But I just, like, so much was built on you, on what you created, but then they kept you blind. And I see this like I know this is the third house, but I see like this, the Two of Swords, where they were kind of bluffing who you were. Your entire life is kind of a lie about your identity, because you have been conditioned to believe that you are nothing but what your family, what your relationships, what your boss, what your role in your community is. You've been conditioned to think you are this, therefore you are. And this is coming out where it's turning from this Two of Swords to justice. You are no longer going to be blind. Justice in this case is not blind. It has been watching. The divine God has been like, "Oh, no. I did not bestow my gifts upon you, collective, for this to be taken advantage of by all these greedy people who realize that they saw your innocence as something like, they're like, oh, this is so easy. We can just take collectives gifts. We can just take collectives assets. We can just take collectives goodies. We can just take collectives whatever, like candy from a baby." And the divine is like, "Oh, no. We're done." So let's clarify justice here, because I can already tell that the divine is getting angry. I can feel it. The spirits are restless. They are like, "No, I am done." Because I work with a lot of deities and stuff that you'd be surprised. Looking at me, looking at my environment, you would be surprised who I work with. Who came to me to work with me. Because I work with energies that are very dark, because I'm always in the light. Therefore, I have nothing to hide. Therefore, I'm very high vibing. So then I can traverse both places. So think about Ra. Ra traversed the underworld. Geez, I'm blanking on what it's called. Maybe that's why it's not important. So it has a lot of names in different cultures, and it's the crossroads, geez, I am blanking on all the names, and I think that's why, because it goes by many names, but when you know, you know. So you got the Ace of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. So I asked for clarification on justice. And this is really important, because you guys were put in positions. Like, think about it. There were no prophets. There were no people that ended up helping that didn't have to go through trials and tribulations. Think about Jesus. Think about Buddha. Think about Gandhi. They all had to go amongst the people. They had to be beggars. They had to be people that were had to go through suffering. They had to go into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. They had to be in this lack. They had to be lonely. They had to be cast out, because they had to experience those things in human form in order to understand, empathize, truly understand. And for a long time, I didn't understand why I had to go through the things I had to go through. I developed a condition called gastroparesis, so I literally starve. And the only reason I have weight on me is because I have to take steroids every day for another condition. And so this is all false. Like, I don't actually absorb any nutrients. So I had to go through the fire of hell, of starvation, of deprivation, of not even being able to breathe, of really what it feels like to literally not be able to get nutrients, of not being able to get air, of not being able to get even water, keep water in my system. But I appreciate that, because had I not gone through that, I would not understand how amazing it is when you get to drink water, and what the loss of that is like. When I know when I see the children in Gaza and know what it is like to starve, what it's like to be paralyzed, which I was, what it's like to not have water. Like, and I would drink water and it would immediately come up. There was no way to keep anything down. What it's like not to be able to know if you're going to survive through the night. I am not saying that I understand what it's like to be in a war-torn country. I do not. But I do know what it's like to go through certain things. And I think I was given those trials and tribulations because God wanted me to have empathy so that I could, therefore, be there for others. And I'm not saying I just think we are all here to, as people who are supposed to help other people. And sometimes we must go through these things in order to really empathize and to really put ourselves in the shoes of others. And unfortunately, a lot of people do not learn these lessons. And the people that do sometimes feel really bad about themselves because they go, well, I'm cursed. And I have stopped seeing the horrible things that I've gone through as curses, but actually as gifts. The Lord thinks that I am strong enough. And I think you guys are strong enough. Yeah, I don't think you would be here. I don't say these things to get empathy. I don't say them to get sympathy. I don't say them to get pity. I don't say them for you guys to tell me you're doing a good job, because I don't believe that's the point. I believe the point is to always give. I think the justice is showing up. I think the justice is giving to those, to passing on the knowledge of what I've learned from all the things that I've been through. I think the reason I'm on this channel is not so that I can get likes or so I can make money or so I can do all these things, but it's actually to convey to others, you're not alone. When you may think you were cursed, you may think that all the things that have gone after you and all the times you've been driven into hermit mode and you've been driven into being alone and you know that you've been driven underground because you don't match convention, that your excitement has been seen as a battle cry and a sign of harm, that you felt alone and cast out, and that you thought you were never going to have any sort of peace or happiness. I want you to remember that it's not about the destination, that we are all here so that we can be in positions of being there for each other. And it's not about us finding a perfect person, because there isn't such a thing. It's not about us finding the perfect career or the perfect family or the perfect this or perfect that. I think that when we get in situations where we become complacent, the universe will send in something to disrupt our peace, because we are becoming stagnant. We are becoming complacent, and the universe is saying, you think that this place you've reached is the 10 of Pentacles, but it's actually the 5. You've just become complacent. You've just become comfortable in the box. So let's see. And so it sends in something to light the fire. And sometimes that has to be something very, very destructive. And I'm not saying that everything that happens to you is, well, I guess I am. I'm saying that everything that is happening to us is to stoke that flame, to move us in a direction for our best and highest good, because I don't think that anything in our world would be happening if we, all of us, hadn't become complacent. I think that we've become so complacent, we've become so attuned to turning the other cheek when it happens to someone else. Is that being a good neighbor? Is that following the golden rule? And I'm saying that most of you are those people that never did that. But you need to know that you're not alone in that these things are happening for our best and highest good, because they need to be broadcast to the world, that it's not okay to turn the other cheek when people are hurt. It's not okay to say, as long as it's not happening to my family or to me. That we have to be able to bring these ideas to the world, that when people, that it's not popular, that we have to stand alone. And that sometimes we have to carry the weight of that with a 10 of Wands here, that we have to go out there by ourselves and be strong. That's what it takes. That we have to be seen as a fox, that we have to be seen as unpopular. That sometimes we have to venture out there, just us and our child, us and our someone else, that we will put ourselves on the line for someone vulnerable. And I see that in this group. I see that in this collective. But I see that also this collective is small. And I want you guys to be rest assured you're not alone. And it feels like it. It feels like it when we're out in the world and we can't find another one of us in our 3D world. And it's easier to be complacent. It's easier to just believe that we're the problem. That if we just comply, that if we just go with convention, that if we just close our eyes and pretend we don't see what's right in front of our faces, that everything will be fine. That it's just the matrix, that this isn't real, that if we just close our eyes, that it's just a dream. But that's not true. We have to remember that if we remember that this is a beautiful world and we fight for it. And I am calling to all of you because this is our big, beautiful world. This is our exciting world. This is our excitement. This is our dream that we believed in. We are fighting for something, and it is beautiful, and it is our dream, and it is ours to hold on to. It is ours to fight for. We are the light workers. We are the ones that the world we've got to bring the justice into this world again. It is not easy. I've been seeing this consistently. The first moment I saw this coming was during the first debate in August, I think it was, of 2015. I think there were like 35 candidates during the debate, and then I had a massive download of all this stuff that was coming. And I went, oh my God. And I can't unsee it. I can't unsee everything I saw. And then everything started coming true. I started writing things down before they happened. And now they're happening faster and faster. And all I can say is we can change things, but we all have to come together. We have to wake up. We must. We can't stop it, but we can come together. This isn't about political parties. This isn't about race. This isn't about spirituality. This isn't about whatever. This isn't about species. This is about our world. This is about our existence. We have to remember that together we thrive, or we all fall. And I think we can make this world into something beautiful, but we have to remember that we have to have excitement, and that life includes all of us. It includes everything that we bring to it. But we have to make the decision. We have to decide the moves we want to make. We are not just, we're not passengers. This is a game we're playing. This is each move we make. This is not checkers. This is chess. You know, we have to make sure that we are thinking 10 moves ahead. We've got to take care of ourselves physically. We've got to take care of ourselves mentally. We've got to be there for each other. We have to make sure we're grounded, that we don't doubt ourselves. As soon as we doubt ourselves, we are doing the job for them. As soon as we're concerned about our attacking each other, or our gender sexualities, I mean, who cares? I mean, really, in the grand scheme of things, when people are dying, when people are being killed or being deported, when people are being disappeared, when people are like being blown up, who cares about these stupid things? If you care about that, then you're part of the issue. And I know most of you do not care about that, or you wouldn't be here. My point is, there is hope. You just have to believe it. Oh my gosh. And this, remember, staying blind. This is what I was talking about. There is no time to stay blind. It is convenient. If you say that, we have to have the strength to come out of the blindness. We have to be less afraid of what we don't understand. Because look, she is in communion with animals that would normally scare people, right? Bears, I'm scared of bears. Okay, but we even proved through the thing of we're more afraid of males, of human males, than we are of a bear. So, like, we have to stop turning into our worst villains, our scariest predators. When did our human counterparts become scarier than wild animals? We would rather be out in the wilderness with a wild animal than a fellow human being. What? Like, what have we done? We must get this back. We must get our lives back here. We can change our world. Like, don't let anybody tell you that it's over. It's not over until it's over. Okay? Like, the fat lady has not sung, you know, and that's from opera. That's not an offensive thing. It's like they're talking about the opera, from my understanding. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Correct me if I am. But here, this is our world. And I think that's amazing that that's what came out. Like, look, we are the authority here, the Hierophant in the world. Oh my gosh, like she's older and she's the world here. Like, these cards are what's coming out. Like, we are the authority in the world. We can create the world. How do you want to see the world? It's up to you. So anyway, that was a strange reading. If you hated it, well, you can unsubscribe to me. You can tell me to screw, you know, tell me to F off. I don't care. My point is, the world's going crazy right now. And like, I don't know what's going on, but like, I think everybody who's doing a lot of this stuff needs a hug. They need to be told they're not, you know, they can go a different direction. I'm not even sure what they want at this point. They seem really unhappy, but you know what? We love you too. You know, you haven't gone too far. I don't care what you've done. You can turn around and say, you know what? You want a different world. I mean, don't you have enough stuff at this point? I mean, like, really, at a certain point, you can't buy any more stuff. How many ships or yachts or airplanes do you really need? I mean, at a certain point, how many houses can you really visit? I mean, it gets really boring after a certain point, right? So really think about that. I mean, even if you have like 20 wives, I mean, it gets boring after a certain point, doesn't it? Like, what's really important to you? What are you trying to fill up? What empty place in your life are you really trying to fill up? Maybe you just need a hug. And the only way you're going to get a hug is if you stop being so mean. Like, really, just be nice. Like, really, just be nice. Like, the whole reason people don't like you isn't because you're ugly. It's because you're ugly. It's because you're ugly inside. It's not because you're ugly on the outside. I'm going to tell you, like, I dated people in Silicon Valley in the 90s and early 2000 area, and it wasn't their looks that made them ugly. It wasn't their neurodivergence that made them unattractive. It was something else. So just a hint, you know, don't be confused. It's who you are inside. It's something about you that makes you attractive. And look, I get it. I shouldn't talk about looks, but I'm telling you, that's not what's important. It's something you put out into the world and you can change. Yep. And I'm talking to certain people who were in Silicon Valley around that time. You're being unattractive. You can change. So you probably won't watch this, but you know I'm talking to you. Okay, bye. Strange reading, but yeah, bye.